Bienvenidos al departamento de Atlántico.
Un, dos, tres, y...
Atlántico is the third smallest department in Colombia, but one of the most densely populated, due mainly in fact to its capital city of Barranquilla. This coastal city is home to some of Colombia's most notable names, but also the iconic Festivales de Carnaval. And luckily, I am just in time. However, I know there's plenty more to Atlántico than just Carnival, so I'm here a little bit early to see what I can find, from fritos to champeta to some of the best thrifting in Colombia. But get your aguardiente ready because I am fully prepared to celebrate all that makes Colombia amazing this weekend at Los Carnivales. So I'm making my way up to Barranquilla, but I actually stopped in this little town called Sabana Grande because this place is the core of a very important piece of Colombian history. It was here that Colombia's first Afro-Colombian president was born in 1805. Juan José Nieto Gil served as president of what was then New Granada for 6 months in 1861. However, his time as president was not the only piece of his legacy. He was also an abolitionist and a writer. Following his death in 1866, his official presidential portrait was actually sent off to Paris to be whitened, and even then was suggested to the basement of the Palace of the Inquisition in Cartagena. It wasn't until 2018 that a new presidential portrait was commissioned, showcasing his Afro-Colombian features and hung in its rightful place in the presidential palace in Bogota. So coastal Colombia is actually known for its fritos, and there are a lot to choose from, so I feel like while I'm here in Atlántico, I should introduce a frito of the day so that I can try them all.
¿Puede darme uno de chorizo, porfa? Ay, gracias.
So we're starting off strong with a papa reina, obviously with salsa de suero costeño. Papa reina is basically like deep fried mashed potatoes, and this one has chorizo in it. Salsa de suero is kind of like a fermented milk sauce, kind of like sour cream. That's delicious. All right, let's go to Barranquilla. Good morning from Barranquilla. So I figured I'd spend my first day in Atlántico exploring a little of the city before all of the Carnival chaos. I am here at the Paseo de Bolívar, which is basically Barranquilla's equivalent of the Plaza de Bolívar that every Colombian city has. This paseo cuts through the center of town and it's home to historical sites and shopping. It's only 9 in the morning and it's already pure chaos. ¿Por qué hay tantos patos?
Porque ese es el pato que está ahorita acompañando a la marimunda, es el pato compañero, el del carnaval. Venga, antes la marimunda venía sola, ahorita la está acompañando el pato.
Quick cut in from Dinner from the Future here for some context. So the marimonda is a character emblematic of the Barranquilla Carnival. The costume actually originates from the years of slavery, when enslaved people first made the long-nosed, big-eared masks as a satire of tyrannical slave owners. In the years since, the marimonda has become symbolic of the Barranquilla Carnival, but the character continues to poke fun at high society. Barranquilla is actually the 4th largest city in Colombia, right after Bogota, Medellin, and Cali. In fact, nearly 50% of the residents of the Department of Atlántico live within the city limits. The city also grows exponentially during the Carnival celebrations, and this year, in 2024, is expected to welcome over 4 million guests from around the entire world. I figured I should pick up some stuff for Carnival since all of my clothes have slowly gotten destroyed in my backpack, but I've heard about a very cool place to go, so I'm gonna go check it out. So I decided to go shopping in a part of town called Los Polgueros, which is basically an entire street of secondhand stores. It was a hands-on shopping experience, quite literally, but I think I found some really great stuff. So howdy from this random park I found, and welcome to my haul. I think I'm supposed to have upbeat music and like a cut screen right here, so First up, I found this pair of sweat shorts, which feels like fate because I literally lost my favorite pair last week. Next up, we have everybody's favorite plain black tank, but hear me out, I have a vision. So for Carnival, I thought I could wear this plain black tank with this little funky mesh number. Okay, but now we have the real fun stuff because I found another market afterward that was selling everything you could possibly need for Carnival. So I picked up some fun things to complete my look, I suppose. First off, we have this pair of earrings, the most fabulous thing I've ever owned. And last but certainly not least, of course I had to buy one of these ducks, and he even has a little sparkly bow tie. So I need to come up with a name for him before I take him to Carnival.
¿Qué crees que necesitamos llamar el patito?
Patito.
Patito.
Hi.
So for all of this, I spent 40,000 pesos, and actually half of that cost was these earrings, so vale la pena.
Hi.
Okay, y'all, all that shopping made me extremely hungry, so I feel like now is an appropriate time for a frito of the day. We have a classic, an empanada de pollo, but this is the exciting bit. I also got jugo de corozo, which I think is my favorite discovery that I have made on the coast. Kind of tastes like a red grape, but the fruit itself is a little bit smaller, a little bit more red, and it's absolutely delicious. So I am walking along the Magdalena River now because I am on the hunt for a very iconic Barranquilla attraction.
Shakira, Shakira.
Barranquilla is the birthplace of none other than Colombian legend Shakira herself. In 2023, local sculptor Gino Marquez created a 21-foot tall statue of the singer, of course pulling the pose from her iconic Hips Don't Lie music video. Now the sculpture resides by the Magdalena River and is clearly a tourist hotspot. Y'all, there is a line of people waiting to take their photo with Shakira. Now, the city of Barranquilla is located on the banks of the Río Magdalena, which actually serves as the departamental boundary between Atlántico and the appropriately named Department of Magdalena. The river has long been a life force in this area, with people settling on its banks since the 17th century, but Barranquilla officially being named a town in 1813. Ever since, the river has allowed the city to grow exponentially as a major export hub and one of the most diverse cities in all of Colombia. The Magdalena River is actually the longest river in Colombia, beginning in the Andean department of Huila and flowing through 12 departments before it eventually empties into the Caribbean Sea right here in Atlántico. In fact, nearly 80% of the Colombian population lives within the Magdalena River Basin, and on its nearly 1,600-kilometer journey, it passes through a number of diverse landscapes. However, perhaps none quite as unique as right here in Atlántico. So the actual meeting point of the Río Magdalena and the Caribbean Sea is called Bocas de Cenizas, which is actually where I am this morning. It's basically a long barrier island stretching out into the ocean with the brackish waters of the Río Magdalena on one side and the salty waters of the Caribbean Sea on the other. And where the two meet, they become a very unique ashy color, hence the name Bocas de Ceniza, or mouth of ash. So historically, there used to be a train that would take you out to the very end of the island, but they're actually doing a lot of construction on it right now. Luckily, I have a Barranquillero and an expert driver to show me around.
La cara de la luna.
Sigue escuchando tu voz.
Da, 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 da.
Mientras tenga que cambiar la radio de esta ciudad.
Something, something, a ti.
No habla de ti.
Jorge, ven, ven. ¿Quién eres?
Hola, soy Jorge.
Dime,
Me gusta el chorizo.
dime un poquito sobre quién eres. To get to the very final point, we have to walk along this very skinny part with huge waves crashing against the sides every couple of seconds. But I think it'll be worth it. ¿Cómo te sientes?
Oye, el río va roncando por los pies de nosotros. Estamos sobre 25 metros de profundidad. Mi nombre es Rafael Montesino, soy orientador turístico de los tajamares de Bocas de Cenizas y pescador artesanal con cometa. Aquí es donde el agua dulce se convierte en agua salada. Ahora mismo tenemos una visita que son los delfines. Esa es la trayección que tiene Bocas de Cenizas. Los delfines y la pesca artesanal con cometa. Y tienen el privilegio de estar hablando con un pescador, mi persona, Rafael Montesino. Les muestro mi oficina.
¡Ay!
Hola, conozcan la pesca artesanal con cometa. Mira, una carnada, dos carnadas. Quería pescar con cometa, yo soñaba. Yo pensaba que en la cola se le ponía, pero ¿cómo este pescado va a coger la cola y va a saltar hasta arriba? No, un día como llegué, llevo 36 años. ¿Cuántas pones? 7.
Así que puedes como encontrar 7 al mismo tiempo.
Exactamente. Tenía 12 kilómetros de largo, hoy en día tiene 9. Fue hecho por el hombre y la maquinaria. Ya hoy en día piensan aquí hacer un puerto de agua profunda. Yo vivo frente a una cascada de agua salada.
Cascada de agua salada. Ay, qué lindo.
Qué lindo.
So Jorge has decided to become my official guide to Barranquilla and show me a few more sights this afternoon, but most importantly, salchipapa salvajada.
Este plato de salchipapa es una recomendación por ¿cuántas personas?
Cuando yo quiero cantar, la noche me acompaña. Yo busco mi tambor, yo llamo a mi tonada. Lela, búsqueme un tambor. Lela,
So I've spent a few days in the city now, so I figured it was time to get out into the nature of Atlántico. So I found this cool place on Google Maps, and this morning I drove about an hour outside of Barranquilla to this town called San Luis, which, based off of the condition of the road, is not a big tourist destination. But it is home to this freaking amazing cave, waterfall, swimming hole situation called El Chorro de San Luis. So it should definitely be on the tourist radar. Good morning. It is my last day in Barranquilla before the Carnival officially starts, so I'm going to go check out the Carnival Museum today and see if I can learn a little more about what I'm about to get into. But first, we have a frito of the day. So today we've got the classic costeño arepa de huevo, and this is a personal fave. So an arepa is like corn-based dough, and then it's wrapped around an egg and deep fried, so the egg like cooks inside the pocket of dough. Oh my god. Now, while the exact origin of Carnival can't be pinpointed to one moment, it's clear that human beings have had a desire to celebrate as long as we've been around. While Carnival here in Barranquilla is certainly a major celebration, it's also a representation of the diversity of the Colombian coast, from Andalusian tradition to African dances brought on slave ships across the Atlantic. Every dance at Carnival tells a story, and every piece of music displays the intricate stories that are all a part of Colombian history.
No sabemos en qué punto, en qué año específicamente dio inicio a esa fiesta. Lo que sí te puedo decir es que hay fechas claves, como por ejemplo la Batalla de Flores, que es el desfile más representativo de nuestro carnaval, comenzó en 1903, después de la llamada Guerra de los 1000 días. Batalla de Flores de ese momento llegó como una manifestación de paz, de armonía que necesitábamos aquí, después de una guerra de 1000 días. La primera reina que tuvimos aquí en el Carnaval de Barranquilla fue en el año 1918, ya hace más de 100 años. ¿Cómo es el proceso para escoger una reina? La reina debe tener un estatus social bastante elevado aquí en la ciudad de Barranquilla, pues ellas influyen, ellas dan una gran parte monetaria ahí. Tiene que ser barranquillera, debe saber inglés, debe tener aptitudes de baile. ¿Cómo se elige una reina? La elige el alcalde y un pequeño consejo de carnaval S.A. En el segundo piso están los 42 vestidos de algunas de las reinas que han pasado por el carnaval. La reina debe tener un ajuar de 25 vestidos mínimo.
Okay, speaking of Las Reinas, somehow I happened to come to a Museo de Carnaval on the day they were doing the press conference for the Queen of 2024. I definitely don't know if I was supposed to be there, but it was wild.
Aquí en Barranquilla, carnavales comienzan desde el 1 de enero. Ya desde el 1 de enero para nosotros son carnavales. Los días oficiales aquí este año son 10, 11, 12 y 13 de febrero. El 10 vamos a poder encontrar Batalla de Flores, el desfile más representativo del Carnaval de Barranquilla.
Good morning, it is Carnival Day 1, and Jorge is the MVP of this event. Jorge actually knew a group that is doing the garabato, so we are now part of the parade and part of la Batalla de Flores, so we gotta get ready.
Hola a todos, mucho gusto, mi nombre es Ángel, soy hacedor del Carnaval de Barranquilla, pertenezco a una de las danzas tradicionales de esta festividad tan importante como lo es este carnaval. Representamos la danza del garabato, como lo decía anteriormente, es una de las danzas tradicionales en donde nosotros representamos la lucha diaria entre la vida y la muerte. Nosotros representamos la vida, obviamente la muerte tiene otra vestimenta y nosotros luchamos contra ello.
Good morning from Jorge's porch. Jorge is watching me film my intro. Hola, Jorge. Hola. So it is day 2 of the official Carnival celebrations, but we are taking a little bit of a later start today because we were basically out all night last night, drinking aguardiente and dancing the street and making new friends. So I had no idea that we were going to be in the parade. It was so amazing to be a part of something that celebrates everything that makes this country so extraordinary. We were part of the Garabato dancers yesterday. Every single dance that takes place at Carnival has a significance. So I'm really excited to dive deeper into that today and see what it's all about.
Es la segunda día de Carnival y comenzamos con los cuartos de Carnaval en Río Magdalena. Y yo estoy acá con el mejor barranquillero de la ciudad, creo.
La rumba barranquillera.
Mi nombre es Miguel, hago parte de la corporación artística Luis Soto de Durán. En el día de hoy vamos a bailar mapalé. Mapalé es un pez, el cual ejecuta movimientos y cierto, como un pescado tú lo tomas del agua y tú nunca lo dejas quieto, ¿verdad? Entonces el mapalé es eso, darse, moverse como un pescado inigualable.
Me llamo Saki Mejía, vamos a bailar champeta. La champeta siempre es la bacana, algo principal de acá.
¿Y cuál es como tu baile favorito de Carnival?
La champeta.
La champeta.
El sol no se siente, como vas bailando no se siente.
Baila, baila, baila. ¡Gati!
La cumbia pues sigue siendo el ritmo con mayor proyección en el mundo que identifica a Colombia, ¿no? El origen de la cumbia se da en la costa caribe, una mezcla de tres razas, es una fusión de 3 razas, la indígena, que es la nuestra, los africanos con sus tambores y los españoles con su vestimenta. La cumbia inicialmente se celebraba durante las fiestas patronales, pues se vincula al carnaval, ya como en 1930. Se calcula, y de ahí por eso participamos en los carnavales. Pero la cumbia no nace con los carnavales. La cumbia tiene una connotación muy fuerte religiosa.
Mi nombre es Mauricio Molina, soy el intérprete de la flauta de millo aquí en la Cumbiamba Cumbión de Oro. Principalmente quería hablarle acerca del instrumento de la flauta de millo. Es un instrumento aerófono tradicional de la región Caribe, que consta de 4 huecos, 4 orificios y una lengüeta. Por su lado lateral se encuentra otro orificio que nos da la particularidad de sacar notas graves. Al momento de tapar este huequito aquí, nos va a dar la particularidad de bajar a una octava menos las notas. Por ejemplo, y si lo suelto, entonces ya tocarían las notas principales. Y las notas agudas que son inhalándolas. También trabaja con notas de garganta. Todas estas mezclas son las que nos dan la facilidad de crear melodías que nosotros tenemos en la región.
My time in Atlántico yet again ended with dancing the street and, of course, one last frito of the day. There's certainly plenty of rumba to be found here, but my favorite part of Carnival had to be meeting people from all around the world. I know there's plenty more, so let me know what did I miss in Atlántico and which department should I visit next. Este es todo por Atlántico. Nos vemos en el próximo video.